Is this more hot air from Mrs. Braverman, or is something going to be done?
The reaction to this depends very much on what your idea is. What is the UK in your perspective? Who has a right to live there? What basis is that right given on? And the common sense view at this time is that the UK is some sort of airport lounge. It's a general economic zone with a lot of money, which has exclusively been generated by exploiting these, Wakanda-esque places that never were, and that this place needs to atone for these crimes with an infinite liability forever, and let anyone who wants to come in through its non-existent borders in perpetuity. So this concept that the UK is solely an economic zone and has these historical sins has at its core this idea of autonomy that we have at the core of the liberal order. That's the main thing that people follow. That no person should be impeded in their search for happiness, for their authentic self, for their self-fulfillment. And unfortunately, I believe that many, maybe not a majority of the UK public has this idea as well, in the sense that if they're able to do whatever they want and travel wherever, do whatever, that everyone should be able to do this, and they're willing to throw their whole civilization on a pyre and burn it to a crisp for that privilege. Well, so I mean,
well, it is a whole civilization, as you put it, because this is just something that is taken for granted, that no Western nation has the right to determine who crosses its borders. That it's true of the southern border of the United States. It's true of Germany. It's true of Sweden, that if you are a developed nation, anyone who gets there can stay there. People didn't think like that half a century ago. How did it all change and become universally accepted?
I think it's, again, reducible to this concept of autonomy, because if I read the UK press, how did people react to this? It was almost exclusively economic concerns. Like, what do the immigrants bring? Do they improve GDP? Even the most conservative take on this was that, we're going to bring in the good immigrants that improve GDP, and we're going to control for the immigrants that don't. There was no consideration for anything other than the UK as an economic zone. So it wasn't about, some sort of right to the existence, continuation of the peoples of the British Isles. That is anathema to the current political order. It's all about, what's in it for whatever HSBC and, the other big players in this, who can get their own. So until the right wing adopts this idea that, they might have to take the unfashionable view of speaking up for the people, the indigenous ancestral people of the British Isles, it's not going to be, enough.